you have a really, really important story to share.
Moms are, like I said, truly incredible. I adore my mother. I'm so thankful for her. And I'm thankful for mom and dad. They were so supportive in my career. But there was a story that came to my mom when we wanted to talk about our moms. And in regard, it was in regard to my career and this. And, um, like I said, she was so supportive throughout all of my playing days. But in a very like, you love soccer, do your thing. I'm here and I'll cheer you on, but not super you get some parents that are a little bit very like too involved, but that was not my mom. She was just like, if you love it, I support you. I'll give you everything you need to be successful, but you do it because you love it. Don't do it because of me. But and I say that because, she was there through it all. But again, just as a support system, which I'm so thankful for. And she really allowed me to have soccer be my thing. But a story that popped in my head when we were talking about doing this segment was when I played for DC, I very much so thought that I would end my career in DC. I had gone to DC to live with my partner and be in the same city and play for that city, which was very special. And like I said, thought I was going to end there and hoped that I would. But that wasn't the case. And after my second season, management at the time had a meeting with me when they were doing their end of season meetings and basically said, we will not be resigning you. There's the door. And I was devastated, like so caught off guard and absolutely devastated. And I remember leaving the facility and just bawling my eyes out on the way home and couldn't even call my mom or my dad on the drive home. But I got home and finally called my mom and through tears told her what had happened. And I remember her saying, she said, Kelley, right now, you just got the door slammed in your face. And that hurts. And I know you're hurting, but I guarantee that whatever door opens next will be so much better than the one that just slammed in your face. And I remember at the moment, like she said that, and I remember at the moment being like, I really appreciate you saying that, but like it's really hard to believe that. And like I am in a lot of pain right now. She was like, I know
Yeah.
it's painful, but it's gonna be okay. And that was always her, she's always been that way for me, like so supportive and giving the right advice at the right time and, not going above and beyond and like overselling it, just being like, I believe in you and I know it's all gonna be okay. And so she was right. So thanks, mom.
My gosh, where was she when the similar thing happened to me with Orlando Pride? I could have really used her.
You could have. Dang, you should have called. I would have put you on three-way call, or you guys could have just had a call yourself.
That is really, really amazing advice and something I think we all need to remember, not
Yeah,
just in
for sure.
sports, but in
In
life.
life, I know. I
In
know.
life, yes.
Yeah.
And so good old Bev has never been as comfortable, I think, with like her emotions and speaking in a way like Karen, but she really showed up for me. My dad struggled with depression for a few years, and it's not something that I've talked about a lot, but my dad was the one that I was my coach. And I think when I think of soccer, I think about my dad, and he taught me how to play. And we spent so much time together. It was probably the reason why I played soccer and why I continued playing for so long. And when he wasn't really able to be that person for me, my mom didn't talk about it, but she showed up for me. She came out to Munich since I was
She
playing
did.
in Germany at the time. She came out to Orlando. So those are two places my dad never saw me play. And she would just show up. She came for my birthdays. She dressed up for Marta for Halloween in Orlando and is just always like one of the gals. And she's the exact example of like when I was growing up, she would say, I'm not one of your little friends. And then now is my best friend.
Yeah, you guys are
Now that I'm grown
besties.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also got to see Kelley win the NWSL championship with Gotham with Karen and Dan, which was really, really special since I'd obviously gotten to know them really well when we were younger through Stanford and FC Gold Pride, but to be able to see them in the stadium at San Diego, and they were so proud, and I was wearing a shirt with Kelly's face on it. I should have worn it for this. It will show up again. Shout out to our moms and also anyone out there who is trying to become a mom and hoping to become a mom. And that is Kelley and I. And we both have frozen eggs. And Kelley, you just put out this really, really, really beautiful piece of content
Thank you.
about a partnership that you have and how you hope to be a mom and how important family is to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a partnership with, RMA, who will be my fertility clinic and has been my fertility clinic, and Cameron's as well. And obviously, um, we have to go through IVF to make that happen in terms of having kids of our own. And I did the partnership because it's a very, getting pregnant and trying to start a family is a very personal thing. And I really appreciate everyone who is super open and honest and um talk about it because it is it like there's time like, oh, I felt like honestly a little stressed about putting that out there because it is very personal and it's a very vulnerable thing, and it's like something that isn't for sure, and something that I do really want and I hope can happen, but I know the reality of the situation, and we'll see what happens. But that is all to say, I did the partnership because I know how important it was for me to understand about my fertility and learn, and it's not something that was really talked about, especially when we were in our 20s when we were playing, but now it's becoming much more common, and my hope is that in me talking about going through this fertility journey, it will make other people consider it and think about it sooner than I did. And that's not just athletes, that's women in any position in life. So that was my purpose for doing it. And I'm so thankful that RMA wanted to do it with me and have been such great partners in that. And because they really are about the education piece and just understanding your options out there, which I think is super empowering. So yeah, I'm at the very beginning of my journey. Al, you're a little bit farther along, but it's it's like I said, it's scary, it's exciting, it's beautiful, it's all the things, and I'm also really thankful that a lot of teams at NWSL, and the reason that I even started to consider egg freezing was because Gotham had a fertility partnership when I played, and a lot of teams are starting to do that, and I think it's really freaking cool, and I think that more players should know about it, consider it,
Yes.
and just be aware of their options. I think it's important to know your options.
Absolutely. The awareness piece is so important. Also helps us have a stronger collective voice as we advocate for more
Yep.
support. And the NWSL clubs have partnerships now with family planning and fertility partners, but it's taken a while for us to get to this point. And it's the same with women in other jobs to fight for companies supporting them so we can do what we love and do our jobs and either have support in terms of IVF and pregnancy or throughout a pregnancy, or if it is in sports, a return to play, if it is
Right.
time off, maternity leave, all of these things. And the more we talk about it and spread awareness, the louder our collective voice will be in terms of
Totally.
advocating.
And just a general understanding of all the things that go into it.
Yes, exactly. And exactly for the same reasons is that you said is why I wanted to also be really, really open about what we're going through. And we have done an embryo transfer, and unfortunately the process hasn't been as smooth or yeah, I guess efficient as we had hoped. I feel like that is probably a universal experience for people going through IVF, and knowing that you're not alone and talking about the emotional and physical toll that it's taken on me has really, really helped me. It doesn't make the symptoms go away. It doesn't make the disappointment any less, but not feeling alone is very, very much so a source of comfort, and not feeling like you're crazy for Googling and chat GPTing every single symptom and having hope and being disappointed and just feeling completely different in your body, especially as athletes. This is not something that we're used to. And so
Right.
using our platform to speak about it, and even just not everything being on a platform, but being able to speak to Kelley and speak to our colleagues and speak to friends and just tell them what I'm going through. I'm still working, I'm still doing broadcasting, I'm still doing public speaking. And I have found that when I have been honest about what I'm going through, there are 3 or 4 women who say, I know exactly how you feel. And I have 2 babies who are IVF babies, and they give me hope, and they want to hear all about kind of my symptoms and just how I've been dealing with it. And they make me feel just like I'm part of a community, and that does help and gives me energy to keep trying until hopefully we are able to have a family. So shout out to everyone out there, just the community, the partners,
Yes.
everyone who yeah, is going through this, and we are with you the whole way.
We are. We are. It's beautiful. It's incredible. And like you said, I think the one of the coolest parts is the community that it creates and leaning into that.
Yes. And whew, girl, we know that community is everything.
Yes, we do.